I'm a private investigator. I've got some books as supermayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
The way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing.
All right, let's dive into this whirlwind of controversy. Picture this: Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as the supervisor of Thornton Township, has found herself ensnared in a non-stop cycle of scandal and drama that keeps everyone on edge. It seems that with every move she makes, chaos follows, sparking conversations among her constituents, fueling arguments among her colleagues, and giving her critics plenty of ammo. The big question is this all part of her grand plan, or has Henyard truly lost control?
Everybody, is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for.
Tiffany Henyard entered her role as Dalton's mayor with a lot of fanfare and high expectations. As the town's first female mayor, and a young one at that, she symbolized a fresh start, a break from tradition that many hoped would bring new energy to Dalton and neighboring Thornton Township. However, what began as a hopeful new chapter quickly turned into a saga filled with power struggles, accusations, and, for some, outright corruption. From the moment she took office, Henyard's leadership style has rubbed people the wrong way. To put it bluntly, her approach to running Dalton and Thornton Township has often been likened to someone managing a convenience store in a troubled part of town. For some, it's a chaotic disaster. For others, it's an entertaining spectacle.
That is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
Now, imagine this: Henyard decided to hold a separate board meeting at Village Hall, away from the usual spot at the Park District. Why? Maybe she thought it would be a chance to assert her power and remind everyone who's in charge. But things didn't go as planned. Not enough trustees showed up, forcing her to cancel the meeting. That meant she had to make a less than graceful exit to the Park District, where the real meeting was taking place. When she arrived, the reaction was swift and unforgiving. The crowd booed her out of the room. And it wasn't just a handful of disgruntled voices, it was a chorus of frustration aimed directly at Henyard.
The super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor and people's supervisor.
This isn't an isolated incident. Henyard's tenure has been marked by a series of controversies that make it seem like she's either incredibly bold or completely out of touch. One of the more memorable episodes involved her being granted a temporary restraining order by the trustees. Yes, you heard that right, the mayor had to be restrained from her own duties. She allegedly overstepped her authority by appointing a new village attorney, a village manager, and even a police chief without the board's approval. When the trustees took her to court, the judge sided with them, essentially telling Henyard that she didn't have the unilateral power to make those appointments. But did she listen? Of course not. Henyard plowed ahead, treating these legal challenges like mere speed bumps on her path to even more controversy.
Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from.
But if you think Henyard is just focused on stirring up chaos at the local level, think again. The spotlight on her actions has grown so intense that it's now attracting attention beyond Dalton. Federal investigators are reportedly looking into allegations of mismanagement and the improper use of taxpayer funds. These are serious accusations, and the residents' reactions are mixed. Some are fed up, while others seem to be glued to the latest developments like it's their favorite reality TV show. And honestly, who can blame them? Henyard's antics seem straight out of a real-life drama.
Would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
in one particularly explosive meeting, Henyard's boyfriend took the stand, and let's just say, he didn't hold back. He aired out dirty laundry that even Henyard's harshest critics didn't see coming. From misusing public funds for personal luxuries to accepting bribes from contractors, his testimony painted a troubling picture of a leader more focused on lining her own pockets than serving her constituents. While Henyard has denied these allegations, calling them politically motivated attacks, it's hard to overlook the details coming from someone who was once so close to her.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1993.
So what's Henyard's defense? Her camp argues that it's all part of a grand conspiracy orchestrated by her enemies. They claim that the trustees are teaming up to bring her down before she can fully implement her vision for Dalton and Thornton Township. But here's the problem: even some of her former allies are starting to distance themselves from her. People who once supported Henyard are now struggling to overlook the growing number of accusations and the seemingly endless stream of legal troubles she's facing. And it's not just political opponents speaking out. Henyard's methods have also ruffled feathers among the township's employees and local residents, many of whom are left wondering what's really going on behind the scenes.
But that's one of the reasons I don't know when we go through our board packets. It's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask a question, it's no.
But let's take a step back for a moment. Henyard's story isn't just about one mayor and her scandals, it also sheds light on broader issues within local Black leadership in suburban Illinois. Some see Henyard's situation as a clear example of how a lack of accountability and unchecked power can lead to chaos. Critics argue that certain Black leaders in these communities appear to believe they're untouchable, using their identity as a shield to deflect criticism. This trend extends beyond Dalton, with some comparing Henyard's case to that of other Black female politicians, like Kamala Harris, whom critics claim use their status to avoid accountability.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Of course, Henyard isn't the only one facing scrutiny. Many other local leaders are in similar hot water. Some argue that the pattern is clear: incompetence goes unchecked, and when things begin to unravel, it's the community that pays the price. Henyard's critics contend that she's merely the most visible figure in a much larger issue, one rooted in a political culture that lets leaders prioritize their own interests over those of the people they're supposed to serve.
To be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around protecting.
Back in Dalton, the daily chaos at township meetings reflects the instability of Henyard's leadership. Trustees have been refusing to attend meetings because they don't feel safe. Think about that. Elected officials are so concerned about what might happen at a government meeting that they're opting out entirely. That's a level of dysfunction you don't see every day. It's not just about policy disagreements, this is about safety. It highlights just how much things have deteriorated under Henyard's leadership. What was once about governing has now become a situation where drama and infighting take precedence.
Not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt.
Let's not forget when Henyard tried to push through her choice for village attorney without following proper protocol. To make matters worse, the attorney she appointed was involved in the restraining order controversy. Henyard's attempt to install her, along with other key officials, against the board's wishes raised serious concerns. When a judge intervened to block her actions, Henyard shrugged it off as just another obstacle. But the trustees have had enough. They're frustrated by what they see as a blatant disregard for the rules and norms that are meant to ensure local government operates smoothly.
The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
Now, let's talk about the mood in Dalton. Many residents are outraged, feeling betrayed by someone they once believed would bring positive change. Social media has turned into a battleground, with people fiercely debating whether Henyard is a victim of political maneuvering or the mastermind behind her own downfall. Some defend her, claiming she's a strong Black woman unfairly targeted, while others argue that she's responsible for the chaos. What's clear is that Henyard's leadership is deeply dividing the community. The longer this saga continues, the more polarized opinions seem to become.
Clickbait, huh? I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all.
Then there are the financial allegations, which have only intensified the controversy. Reports suggest that Henyard has been spending recklessly, putting Dalton's finances in a precarious position. A report led by a former Chicago mayor claims the town's budget is in disarray, with growing debt and questionable spending practices. Critics argue that Henyard is misusing taxpayer money for personal perks, and they're demanding accountability. Henyard, however, dismisses the report, calling it riddled with inaccuracies and politically motivated. But despite her rebuttal, the accusations continue to mount.
It is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
It's like a ticking time bomb, and Henyard seems to be navigating a tightrope with every decision. The trustees are pushing for cuts, seeking to curb spending, and some are even calling for an investigation into the town's finances. In response, Henyard has doubled down, accusing her opponents of attempting to sabotage her efforts to bring change to Dalton. She's not backing down, but the question is, how long can she maintain this stance before it all unravels? Just when things couldn't get more intense, Henyard files a lawsuit against the trustees. Yes, she's taking them to court, accusing them of holding illegal meetings at the Park District and attempting to undermine her authority. She's asking the judge to declare Village Hall as the official meeting site, effectively nullifying any business conducted at the Park District. It's a bold move, adding yet another layer of drama to this already tangled saga. But the real question is this a calculated strategy? Or is Henyard just another power player trying to seize control?
For anyone from a township to go to a mayor's conference. A mayor's conference is a mayor's conference.
Even Tiffany Henyard's closest allies seem to be feeling the pressure. Key members of her team have either stepped down or are openly questioning their roles. Now, with Henyard hinting at a significant surplus in the township's funds, the public is beginning to ask tough questions. Is she genuinely focused on serving the community, or is this just a power play disguised as leadership? While Henyard insists she's dedicated to improving Dalton, her actions have left many questioning her true intentions. Is she a leader unfairly targeted by critics, or is she the architect of her own troubles? What do you think this ongoing controversy reveals about the state of local leadership in Dalton? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take on this unfolding situation. Stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for watching.